Today, we are taking you on an immersive tour where we will show you the must-see sights of the Cologne city in Germany. So sit back comfortably and let us guide you. We parked outside the city and decided to use public transportation, which offers day passes for €9. After purchasing our tickets, we set off to explore the city, heading towards the Cologne Triangle. Located on the west bank of the Rhine, this impressive glass and steel tower offers a panoramic view of the city and its surroundings. Standing at 103 meters tall, the Cologne Triangle features a publicly accessible observation deck, providing a unique perspective of Cologne's major landmarks, such as the famous cathedral, the Rhine River, and the surrounding neighborhoods. It was completed in 2006. Interesting architectural fact: its soft facades consist of a double skin, allowing for natural ventilation even on the upper floors. The Cologne Triangle has become an architectural symbol of Cologne and a must-visit attraction to enjoy breathtaking views of the city. The entrance fee is €5 per person. A little further away is the Hohenzollern Bridge. It's surrounded by statues of horsemen representing historical figures linked to the city's history. They symbolize the era of Prussian rule in the Rhine province. 4 equestrian statues of Prussian kings and German emperors of the Hohenzollern family flank each ramp. The bridge is much more than a marine infrastructure connecting the bank of the Rhine. It is steeped in history and symbolism. Its history dates back to the late 19th century, when the city of Cologne experienced rapid growth, making it essential to build a new bridge to facilitate movement between different districts of the city. Construction work began in 1907 and the bridge was inaugurated in June 1911. Today, it serves not only as a vital link between the two banks of the Rhine, but also as a meeting place and promenade for the residents and visitors of Cologne. Its elegant metal structure and imposing arches make it an iconic landmark of the city. It also offers magnificent views of the Rhine, including a breathtaking perspective of the famous Cologne Cathedral, which stands majestically nearby. It's a popular spot for people to take photos, truly resembling a postcard view. Numerous locks can be seen, adding a touch of poetry to the bridge history. The idea behind the locks is for a couple to write their names on a lock and securely attach it to the bridge railings, symbolizing their eternal love. The tradition of love locks started to spread in Cologne in the early 2000s, inspired by similar practices observed on other famous bridges worldwide. Couples attach locks to the bridge railings and then threw the key into the Rhine as a sign of their mutual commitment. Over the years, the number of locks has significantly increased, creating a captivating visual spectacle. However, due to the potential damage caused to the bridge structure by the weight of the locks, local authorities have taken measures to limit this practice. Special grids have been installed to allow lovers to continue expressing their affection while preserving the integrity of the bridge. At the bridge exit, you can also find vendors and engravers of locks. Attention to lock enthusiasts. After crossing the bridge, we head towards the cathedral, which is located 250 meters from the bridge. We pass by the Ludwig Museum and the train station. What is striking is the crowd surrounding this cathedral. With its 157 meters in height and 533 steps, it's the second tallest church in Germany and has the second highest church spire in the world. It's surrounded by a modern concrete structure known as the Cathedral Plateau. It's also the third largest Gothic cathedral after Seville and Milan. Its architectural authenticity and fidelity to the original plans were recognized by UNESCO, which inscribed it on the World Heritage List in 1996. The enormous west facade, with its two towers covering over 7,100 square meters, remains unmatched anywhere else in the world. It's the most visited monument in Germany, with over 6 million visitors from around the world every year, and it's truly impressive. Its interior is no exception. The original liturgical arrangement of the choir is remarkably well preserved. It includes a high altar with a massive black limestone monolith, considered the largest in all Christian churches, carved oak church stalls, painted screens, 14 statues of pillars, and polychrome stained glass windows forming the most significant cycle of its kind in 14th century Europe. Among the multitude of masterpieces within the cathedral, notable mentions include the Gero crucifix and the Shrine of the Three Kings. Other artistic masterpieces include the St. Clair altar in the north nave and the St. Aegilopho's altar in the south transept. After the cathedral visit, we head towards the Documentation Center of National Socialism. It was founded on December 13, 1979 by the decision of the Cologne City Council and has become the largest local memorial dedicated to the victims of National Socialism in Germany. Between December 1935 and March 1945, this building served as the headquarters of the Cologne Gestapo. During the final months of World War II, hundreds of people, mainly foreign forced laborers, were executed in the inner courtyard of the Elde House. Ironically, it was one of the few buildings that remained intact in the center of Cologne, which was one of the most heavily bombed cities in Germany with 90% destruction. We can feel that the building is steeped in history. We descend into the basement to explore the former Gestapo prison, which has been preserved and truly immerses us in the historical atmosphere. Approximately 1,800 inscriptions and drawings made by the detainees have been preserved in the 10 cells that compose the upper floor of the cellars, located above an air raid shelter for Gestapo agents. This prison is one of the best preserved from the Nazi era and is a major cultural heritage, both nationally and in Europe. Leaving this historical building with heavy hearts, we decide to freshen our minds by heading towards two parks. Cologne is a very green city and you can find numerous parks there. Not having time to visit the Rhine Park, the largest park in the city, we make a little detour to Hiroshima Nagasaki Park, located not far from the city center and the university. There are often people who come to sunbath, run, or even have barbecues with friends. You can even buy disposable barbecues at some kiosks, and there are specific bins for disposing of barbecue waste. You can also observe a big square pond. We continue towards the Linderthaler Tierpark, which is located a bit further away. There, the animals come to eat from our hands. You can buy seeds and feed the animals in this century-old park and see a group of deer and soy sheep roam freely in the park. You can also discover a variety of domestic birds in a walk through aviary, including ducks and guinea fowl. There are also miniature goats and sheep, which are very popular with children, as well as donkeys and other animals. It's a pleasant stop if you have children or if you love animals. Now, we arrive in the district of Brusselerplatz and we discover St. Michael's Church. Built in the 19th century in the neo-Gothic style, the church features an impressive facade with its towering spires and elegant architectural details. It regularly hosts musical events, concerts, art exhibitions, and other cultural activities. After leaving this church, we head towards the Rhine River and explore the Belgian Quarter along the way. It's one of the neighborhoods in downtown Cologne. Its names come from the many streets named after Belgian cities, such as Antwerpenstrasse and Brusselerplatz. The area is full of restaurants serving local and international dishes, as well as nightclubs, making it the perfect destination to spend the evening. We follow Maastrichter Street and arrive at St. Mary Church, which is a Baroque church in the Innenstadt district. The pilgrimage church is dedicated to St. Mary, the Black Madonna. It was completed in 1715 and measures 37 meters long and 17 meters wide. Inside, we discover beautiful decorations that resemble more a chapel than a church. We continue towards the Rhine River and reach the Old Town Square. We stroll through the charming history-filled narrow streets. In this neighborhood, we can discover two squares that are true lively places in the city. The former city market is now a vibrant center known for its cafes, cultural events, and carnivals. The Alter Market, which means Old Market, is a landmark in Cologne. It's located just a few steps away from the Rhine River and the main shopping district of Cologne. Here, we find the town hall and we even witness a wedding taking place. The square is lined with numerous cafes. The Esplanade once hosted a large medieval market and jousting tournaments. Today, you can admire buildings of traditional German architecture and ancient monuments dedicated to the city's founders. In the summer, the square attracts a crowd looking to relax on the cafe terraces or attend outdoor concerts. In December, the Christmas market also draws thousands of tourists with its ice rink, illuminations and stalls selling traditional products. In the center of the square stands a fountain built in 1884 in honor of Jan van Werth, a Greek general who achieved numerous victories during the 30 Years' War. Bas-reliefs depict the story of Jan van Werth and Griat, a young girl he fell in love with when he was young but rejected him because he didn't come from a wealthy family. Jan van Werth left Cologne and joined the army. Years later, when he returned after marrying a noblewoman, he encountered Griat again, who was now old, alone, and full of regrets. Right next to it is Heumarkt Square, and we discover a lively square currently hosting a food festival at its center. Surrounding the square, you can find numerous bars and restaurants. there is also the equestrian statue of Friedrich Wilhelm III, King of Prussia from 1770 to 1840. It was dedicated by representatives of the citizens of Cologne in September 1878. In October 2009, the equestrian statue was restored and placed back on Heumark Square after extensive renovation work. We arrive in the Old Town district, which manages to be both trendy and traditional. Here we discover historical monuments, colorful buildings, cobblestone streets, bars, galleries, designer shops, and restaurants. A truly enjoyable place. Nestled tightly among residential and commercial buildings, mostly dating back to the 1970s and 80s, the three-aisle basilica is worth a visit. Its interior is splendid, and you can observe the reconstructed crypt, which showcases archaeological excavation from the Roman era. We take a stroll along the Rhine and find ourselves in yet another lively and pleasant area. Many people relax on the promenade and lawns while enjoying a fantastic view of the Hohenzollern Bridge. Restaurants, bars and colorful houses are iconic features of Cologne scenery. Now, we head towards the Chocolate Museum. In 1972, Hans Imhoff, a chocolate enthusiast, stumbled upon a whole container of old machines, tools, and packaging that was destined for the landfill by pure chance. He quickly realized that he had found a true treasure and decided to restore everything. The idea for the Chocolate Museum was born, and in 1993, it officially opened its doors to the first visitors. Today, the museum welcomes over 600,000 visitors annually and is financially self-sustaining, which is very rare in the museum world. The visit takes place through 9 exhibition spaces spread over 3 levels and offers visitors a journey through the cultural history of chocolate. The Rheinauhafen district is a young and attractive neighborhood with a variety of attractions. The 210,000 square meters development, located directly on the Rhine, not far from the city center, has quickly become one of the Cologne's popular attractions. The neighborhood consists of a mix of modern residential and office buildings, interspersed with numerous cafes, restaurants, and galleries. And for those of us who appreciate architecture and culture, the highlight of the New Cologne Promenade is the trio of buildings called the Crane Houses, which rise to a height of about 60 meters and have a truly unique design. The buildings, shaped like lifting cranes, are distinctive elements of the skyline of the west bank of the Rhine. The blend of historical buildings and modern architecture is a characteristic feature of Rheinauhafen. Our day ends here, and we make our way back to the metro. And in any case you are wondering if the name Eau de Cologne is related to the city of Cologne, well, it's attributed to a certain Giovanni Maria Farina, an Italian chemist, who is credited with inventing Eau de Cologne. Yes, the name does come from the city since Giovanni lived in Cologne starting from 1609. Today, the original Eau de Cologne is still produced by the 8th generation of his descendants in Cologne. We hope you enjoyed this tour and that it inspires you to discover this German city. See you soon for new discoveries!